piano and we're off.
We're off.
Music, yeah.
Yeah, I can do the music.
You can't, or you can.
It's like a little looty.
I could.
Yeah. Music's there. It's just quiet now. In the background. A little bit of background flavour. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Jinx. It's Terrafae Q&A with Pigeon and the boys. Yeah.
Oh, you know what you didn't do?
What didn't I do?
Reactivate the one channel point question thing.
Oh, yeah. Can you do that, or shall I do it now quick?
No, I can't.
I'll do it now quick. How are we, everybody? Welcome in. Hello, Ash. Hello, Mighty Mouth. Oh, that guy says... You know what I forgot to do was post a fucking live notification. Busted.
I'll do that. You do the other thing, because I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you say we're live now rather than we're going live. We're live now. Let's just...
Now on my channel.
Quick question from Teaspoon. Can I join the Handsome Bearded Dudes Club? What do you mean join? You're already into.
If so, welcome aboard.
You're already in. Dwarf Yo-Yo, welcome in, fella. Lucy, oh my god, hi. I just like to throw random ads out there. First question, Mr. Page, where is Mama Stifler? That is entirely a question for Mama Stifler. She knows the score. She knows she's welcome back at any point, but it's entirely up to her and her schedule. Right, the 1 point question thing is reactivated.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, sweet. We're rocking it. We're doing it. We're feeling it. We're kissing it. The people want to know. Yeah, when it comes to Stiff, Stiff is living the dream, living her best life, sorting things out, and she's more than welcome to come back when she... I had a little word with her. And yeah, I want her to come back when she can, like, commit to the campaign, you know. What's been your hypest moment of the campaign so far? A question from our mighty mouth. I'll throw that one out to the boys, and then I will say mine. Go around and just say what the hypest moments have been so far.
I would probably say for me last session that because I completely did not expect any of what happened. I didn't expect any of that to happen.
I do want to go back into the VOD and clip. I was staring at Biggie on my screen when I was describing what was happening, and as I step by step described as Tim revealed himself from the smoke, and I waited up until the last point to say with a top hat on, and I could just see Biggie's face going, wait.
What?
Wait, what?
Wait. It was fucking quality to watch, to see Biggie piece by piece put together who it was. That was cool.
Just see it assembling in his head.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's Kia. Welcome in, Bray. What about you, Bard?
I don't know. I mean, watching Xavier blow up the lighthouse was pretty cool.
Pretty epic and traumatizing.
PTSD.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a moment that sort of really stuck out for me, but like the whole Darius thing was crazy, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't really pick a moment out. That's
Yeah. What about you, Vol?
I don't know.
Hype being stood across a fight arena from the big bad and being this close to fucking losing their life there and then.
Yeah, I agree. That now that you mention it, that was definitely
how
great.
fucking close was it? Like I had the spell slot. I sat there, I was waiting. I saved the spell slots in case shit was going to kick off, and I had the 2 spell slots. I did it the first time, and he put me to sleep. And I had another one to do it a second time.
Mm.
But
And
that
he
was just like,
and he
I
dared
remember
you.
that. It's just-
He dared you. He no-balls you.
I was
Yeah.
sitting there thinking, like, I'm going to have to go out with him. Like, it's what Bran would have done. He wouldn't have let Guile go out on his own. I was like, it's going to fucking kill us. But
yeah,
I
fuck
was sitting there like,
it.
please don't let him. Please let him see reason.
Yeah.
Part of that was a little bit meta, kind of out of character sort of thing, because I kind of knew that if I was going to step out there, that would have been it. I mean, Guile, without a shadow of a doubt, would have done. Like, he should have done, would have done. But, like, yeah.
The Vol
I had to
kind of
restrain.
held him back a little bit. Yeah, fair enough.
I had to restrain it.
Yeah. A question from Vol himself. What's one thing you would have done differently? Is that to everyone?
Yeah.
Is that decisions we made during the
Yeah.
campaign?
Or anything. Anything you would have done differently before, during, even now. Anything you would have done differently.
I don't know. I mean, I still would have gone out of my way to try to save Guile, as I did, and
I was going to say the same thing. It's just like probably the Guile's death was.
because for L'Oreal that was traumatic to literally basically land in his mushy corpse.
Yeah.
And just see that. But yeah, I don't think I would have changed anything so far because I've done and followed the way that L'Oreal would do everything.
Yeah. Fair sharp.
Yeah. Would I have done anything differently? Welcome in, Dreamy Luna. Honestly, I don't know. I think everything that I've wanted to happen, or quote unquote, I say needed to happen, but anything that I wanted to happen, I've made happen. I must admit there's been a couple of times when I've had to like crowbar / push a little bit. Like, I wanted the whole council thing to come up. And I did kind of push it a little bit because I knew this trip offshore was imminent. Yeah, looming. So just at the end of the day, just sending the fucking town crier out to just be like, the fucking council's fucked, ring a ding ding. I might have done that a bit differently. Also, like, finishing the deck happened a little bit earlier than anticipated. I gave you guys the cards, and then having Darius have the last two worked thematically because he'd kept them back so that Ulysses couldn't complete the deck if Ulysses was collecting them. So it worked that he had them and he completed the deck in the moment that he did in a friendly environment. But I did kind of want to give you them on another X encounter, however, you know, as you've been collecting them. But again, with the trip off seas looming, I was like, we either get the deck complete now and see what happens for the fun of it, or because I couldn't bullshit it from Martin, because like, why would two of the last two cards have been in Martin? But it's one of them. So yeah, I think maybe not introducing the potential of the trip offshore till I'd completed a couple of other goals was something I'd slightly do different. But I mean, everything's worked out. We got some cool shit from the cards. The trips aligned. So yeah, we're good.
And some slightly less cool shit from the cards as well.
I mean,
slightly less cool shit.
It's all cool shit. Yeah. Dreamer Luna, I'll get to you in a sec, Lucy. Your campaign's going well. This is our monthly Q&A, where we basically, the last Monday of the month, we do a little chat with the boys, everyone that can be here, where we round up kind of our thoughts, our feelings. There's a 1 channel point question thing that you can redeem to, like, if you got any specific questions and stuff. But I feel the campaign's going well. I'm really enjoying it as a DM. I think the boys have engaged with a lot of things. I'm really enjoying it. Lucy says, "Do you feel bad for putting Danson and his inn through some shit every session? Danson's got the patience of an angel."
Always. What we don't realise probably is that he's flipped inside and he's going to actually be the big bad because of what we've done to his tavern.
Danson's making a dossier.
Yeah. He's making a list of people he's putting on that list.
So, like, he's mentioned it a couple of times. Like, Danson is, at the end of the day, a retired adventurer. He's like, you know what I mean? He knows the bullshit that adventurers get up to. He's got the main hotspot tavern in Calvados, the main hotspot for guild action and all that. You know what I mean? If he could have gone to a little village in the middle of nowhere if he wanted a quiet time, but as much as he can't necessarily adventure anymore,
he lives through the adventurers.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, I mean, he's not needed to, but I'm sure you can imagine, like, he might be old and retired, but if the fan was hit with the shit, and he really, really wasn't fucking happy with you guys, I'm sure as you can imagine, he'd probably deal with it. Yeah, exactly. Like, if he was really fucking fuming, he would have just chucked you out.
The pub doesn't have any bouncers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. He called the guards on you that time because, as much as fucking about and pissballing around goes, like, he was fucking knackered and he got woken up by the wails of a tortured man in the middle of his gaff. Like,
it was a little bit too far.
And it was only the wily silver tongue of our Xavier that kind of eased him down. And it was even an easing down just to a calling the guards. Just off your foot. Don't fuck about it. Get out my pub. Yeah, Danson is the best boy. We love Danson. We've been through the shit.
A little part of me thinks he's kind of enjoying it. He's kind of enjoying a little bit of, like, the
surprises,
spontaneity of us lot, and just how different the things are that we do and we get up to.
He's probably going to realise how boring his life really is once we're gone for like a week or so, or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's something that we do need to. I mean, it's no fucking huge spoiler that Danson's planning to have a conversation with you at the start of Friday's session to be like, right, heading off on your travels. How long are you going to be away for? Do you want to pay up front to hold your rooms, or should we just fucking crack on?
Who the fuck knows?
Exactly.
I still think it's so funny that on the last day of our leaving, we throw a fucking horse down the stairs. As one last sort of surprise, Danson. That's what we're doing today.
For God's sake.
That was perfect classic moment of Junior with a shit roll. That he's like, I mean, just because you're wild shape doesn't mean that you're not a fucking a Bambi on ice. Yeah, exactly. Like, walk down stairs made for humanoids on your first attempt, and man fucking Bard's teary eyes as he was fucking cracking up. That was amazing.
When you just
brought a horse upstairs?
Why is there a horse?
What are you doing now?
Whose horse is that? Amazing. Danson, we love Danson. Can't you do this when I'm not asleep? That's it. Danson's the best. Danson has like 4 years with chat plays, and then you guys come in. Yeah, that's it. I mean, Danson's been around. He's the main man.
Yeah.
He was there 4 years ago when like Bard's old group and Biggie's old group. He's the fucking
we're dancing in the old group as well.
Yeah. He's the main flower. I wish my Dragon Ball was in this campaign. Should be great friends with him. That's it. He's a friend to the people. He's a friend to the people, and he is like a dad. Yeah. A concerned dad that also can't be bothered. That's it. Yeah. As long as you're fed and watered and you don't destroy his gaff, fucking,
Just pay your tab, and I don't care.
Is that the Vermintide 1 scene in the top left? I don't know. Where's your background from, Biggie?
I don't know. It's just one I found on
on Manicam, is it?
On Discord.
Yeah, that's what was the tavern called?
I don't know. I don't know Vermintide.
Corner Trust.
It's the Corner Trust, yeah.
Yeah, it's the tavern where you hold up in. It's like the hub.
The more you know.
The more you know.
There you go. So I've got a thought. Well, a kind of question to put to you guys. Given the thought of where we're going, have you got any ideas, thoughts, aims? Like, are you just getting on the boat and it is what it is? Or is there anything in your mind that's like, what could be there? Who could be there?
I'll chip in first here, all right? Because I am happy to go with the flow. I'm more than, just fucking easy, get there. Whatever's there, we'll deal with whatever we need to deal with when we get there. Dave doesn't know a thing.
He was incarcerated.
Yeah, exactly. All he knows is he's got to go on this ship as part of being released from prison.
That is a slight difference, even like.
I mean, Dave wouldn't even know about the dragons flying past, would he?
Well, yeah, exactly.
No, he wouldn't actually, because he was inside. Yeah, but that is a different angle. Yeah, comparative to people going on an adventure, whereas Dave has to, even if no one signed up, that Dave would be on a boat
on his own,
on his onesie.
Yeah, but the whole thought of it is like, why are they putting me on this ship? Why have I been released early? Because they're putting me on this ship. Is it likely to be a bit of an issue?
Are they putting you forward like as a suicide thing? Like they're not expecting you to come back. It's one of those things where you can serve your 20 years, or for a couple of weeks we'll let you free. And it's like, well, it can't be all that easy.
We'll send
the question is
let
who gave you that offer? Who made you that offer?
That is still to be discussed. I kind of threw that in there last minute, and I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, we'll roll with it." See what happens.
That bloody commander of the guard who always gives shit deals and never follows through on them?
I mean,
what do you mean shit deals that doesn't follow through with them? What deal hasn't the captain followed through with?
Probably.
Where's my money,
mate? It was money for a job that you didn't do, so you didn't get paid.
Bought back a leg. That should have counted for something.
It did.
Yeah. It did. Well, it did. Yeah.
We got a couple of quid out of Ellen for it, didn't we?
Yeah. And
yeah.
Look how that went.
Yeah, that was fun.
But like I said, Grant's got his journey. He's going in. He's thinking, well, there's got to be something worthwhile on this island. So he's going to be writing down his experiences. He's going to be doing sort of like looking at the plants there, see if like there's anything interesting going on. He's going to write it in hopes to bring it back and contribute to the wider world with information that no one else has carried before.
And we also know that is the rough direction those dragons were flying. Do we encounter them? We don't know. But we know that that's roughly the way they went.
Are they friendly?
It all a ruse. It's a ruse from Drunk Pidge. It was secretly planned.
I think I have stipulated at some point that Drunk Pidge dropped a couple of bombs early. Even if the initial dragons went out, I don't think the follow-up dragons should have gone out. But I mean, it is what it is. We love Drunk Pidge. I mean, you saw dragons flying south, so I mean, whether you saw what you saw, it is what it is. Who knows?
It could have been Wyverns.
They were definitely dragons. Could have been illusions cast into the sky to ship people up over the city. Who knows? But then again,
wanted to get Danson in trouble, knowing how he'd react.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Danson definitely was fucking drunk with the boys and went streaking. So, like, Danson spent a night in the cells, hyped to see the first dragons he's seen possibly ever. Dragons go raw. Question from Lucy. Do you think Xavier will be seasick and complain about the entire journey? Also, Vol, why did you decide to switch characters again so quickly after having your big, curious boy?
Who, incidentally, will be on one of these ships.
No.
That's where
won't.
he signed up, didn't he?
No, he went
No.
back to
He
once.
signed up, he's
He
fucked
signed
off,
up and
mate.
then fucked
He signed up
He's
and then
gone.
fucked off with Levis.
He's long gone.
All right.
That ship was bound for want.
Yeah. There's very little chance you're going to see him on that ship tomorrow.
I mean, we can't really speak for Xavier because V's not here, but
He will complain.
Yes.
he'll
there's
probably
no doubt about
complain
it.
in terms of it being like not a comfy warm bed. But I mean, he's
He's an adventurer at the end. He's done
Yeah.
this for years.
that's it. Yeah, he's not like he's not a hoity-toity posh lad toff that's like, oh fucking hell, where's me fucking hot meals? He is he is a meme, but that's just V. Or, to be fair, I don't think I've ever seen V play D&D where it's not like his characters are always a bit memey. He's there to bring the memey conflict. It's just the way V is.
Yeah.
He's a fucking Bantosaurus Rex, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why did we go? Why did he disappear again? Well, sorry, forgive that. I'm just phone on silent. There was a thing. Okay, not necessarily a thing, but when I made him, he was just that one nice guy. He was everyone's friend. He was going to do everything he could to help people, and thematically, or like in a what's the word I'm looking for? Like based on him and what he's done, what he has done, what he will do, what he did. He's not going to stick around with the quote unquote murder hobos to see what happens. You know, he's literally just watched them blast a hole halfway across the fucking city. He's not going to hang about for that because he's not like he's not that kind of guy. He came to investigate the dragons. Not a lot happened about the dragons, so he's just jumped on a ship and gone back to one because he didn't like being with the group that he was with. That's it.
There's always that element of, with new characters, you've always got to find a way to crowbar them in. There's got to be a reason why, when a group of people have been playing together for X amount of time and then someone dies and they have to play a new character, what reason has that character got to be with the party? You've kind of got to fit in. There's always some element of, because like naturally a group of people might just be like, nah, new guy, we're not interested in new recruits. Yeah, you've got to have the chemistry and stuff, but you've also got to have an element of just let it happen, because otherwise people wouldn't be able to play, you know. It's like when Volmar turned up and like Dave was sat round the table with the boys after his slightly more semi-hostile introduction, having a chat.
Entrance, yeah.
And then Volmar's kind of just sat nearby, like, as a DM, I'm sat there thinking, well, we need to get Junior in on the action. But bless him, like the first time he walked up and said, hi guys, can I join? And Xavier was like, no. I was like, well, shit.
Oh, fuck.
But then as it developed, he then went back up and said hello and introduced himself. And then there was, I think, was it Biggie or Xavier was like, see, that's how you introduce yourself kind of thing. And then it just gelled.
Don't stab a table.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's one of them. It's difficult with new characters, but we find ways and means. And yeah, while it might not necessarily make a huge amount of sense, ultimately, you've just got to make do, haven't you, to make it make sense.
Yeah, and Azul just didn't make sense in that group. Like I made him with because he was a monk and he had some cool shit and he could do cool shit, and that was brilliant. But then with the alignment side of things, he was like I mean, same as Brant, but Brant has just kind of grown numb to all his bullshit, I think, and he's just happy to go with the flow, and whatever happens, happens, and he's a
That's what
cleric,
we
he'll
think.
sort you out when you're finished.
Yeah, Brant's. Yeah, he's sort of a good guy, and he's had enough experiences to know that sometimes be like trying to do the right thing. Like don't leave those people alone, and getting in the fucking way sometimes causes more harm than good. He's very much a very sort of person who keeps quiet, tries to do good, but he'll never go out of his way, and he will sort of turn a blind eye to the occasional, like, well, this neighbour's got plenty of gold, why not just take some and put it to a good use? It's not benefiting anyone. So he's not a full-blown good guy, but he has a very sort of grey area.
A realistic approach to adventuring life. And that's a fundamental difference between everyone as well. Ultimately, you're not just like a good guy doing the right thing.
You keeps cutting out.
Yeah, you're all adventurers at the end of the day. So whatever your personal morals are and your personal beliefs, ultimately you're in a life of fighting shit for money and solving issues for money and going on quests for money, and that's just the way it comes. Like, the people you work with is, or not everyone's going to be quote unquote perfect or a nice guy, but if they get it done and they're efficient at it and they work with you, it's just the way it is. Yeah, Lucy Val reckons you feels like you didn't enjoy him as much because you're chaotic. That's why Guile was such a great, authentic character. I mean, the pure chaos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, you did say that to me as well, didn't you? That like
from the off, it was like I just thoroughly enjoyed him from the start. Like, just the fact that I can do what I want when I want. Nobody's going to ask any questions. Everybody else there was literally just walking around behind me picking up the shit, which was fucking amazing. It was brilliant. Like, I could just be me in D&D form. And that's kind of where I've gone back to with Dave. It's just like, I can do a bit of this, I can do a bit of that, but fuck it. Throw a fireball into a group of fucking civilians, who gives a shit, sort of thing. It's one of them, innit? Like, I'm happy that Azul came in, and I'm happy I got to do some like relatively cool shit with him. But ultimately, if I had a chance to do that again, it'd be that, but just on the complete flip side of the alignment chart, and he would just be an evil son of a bitch who'd literally just fucking hurt anyone. Because monks are just good at that. They're just good at pain.
I'll say it's not like stats are cool, features and traits are cool, but you've got to enjoy the character of themselves, and you've got to enjoy the role play. Like, anyone can roll a dice and say, yeah, I can run up a wall, but if the character's not gelling, there's no point playing them. Yeah,
exactly.
Let me think of topics. Something that I haven't necessarily said. Taking a slightly out of the book of Mr. Mercer, and to let you guys know, the way traveling works. I think Biggie's kind of aware because we kind of did an element of it years ago. But like, the way traveling works is ultimately it'll be X amount of time to get to your destination. There will be survival and travel based roles, and then we will see what happens based on those roles. You might get some like free and easy days that are basically just talky role play, do what you need to do on the ship as you're traveling. Shit rolls or particular rolls of a certain number. You might have shit weather that'll affect things. You might have things in the sea that might attack you. You never know. So there's a little bit of a dip your toe in what to expect without any spoilers. It's not just going to be, we're on a ship, let's just talk for 5 in-game days and then arrive and get off the ship. There's got to be
non-stop RP.
Yeah, It's real time traveling. The next 3 months, we don't get there till August. Imagine that every week.
Yeah, like I've seen shit in Critical Role where Matt's just like, "Oh, you rolled a natural 1 for today. Have a fucking chimera."
Yeah.
This chimera just flies up alongside your skyship and lands on board and roll fucking initiative. Like,
Yeah, that's
great,
it.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's a reasonable assumption. Like any intelligent person knows that with all the bastardry that you've seen on Calvados alone, the main fucking city hub of the world, there's bastardry everywhere. So I'm sure you can imagine, like, there's probably stuff in the water that probably doesn't get to fucking eat very often unless there's random ships sailing where they probably shouldn't, you know. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll let the dice decide. Well, I'm a
snacks.
a ship full of snacks. There's yeah, I'm excited. I'm not. There's a lot of shit in the pipeline, and that's one thing I find a little bit difficult as a DM. Like, I just want to talk about all my cool ideas and stuff, but I obviously can't. But yeah, we'll just experience things as they come and see how they work out.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good laugh, isn't it? It's going to be a good laugh, whatever happens, and there's going to be ups and downs and highs and lows.
And that's it.
Everything, but like,
I think the one thing I'm mostly looking forward to from a slightly evil DM side of things is the first proper introduction to a complete absence of safety.
Yeah.
Because obviously, Vol, you've never experienced it. I know, like, Biggie and Bard probably have in elements here and there. But to go from, we can do whatever we want in the day, we can fight a thing, we can get our shit pushed in and nearly die, and then go for a pint and sleep it off. Comparative to, you are now in an entirely unexplored, unwritten, unrecorded area of the world. Will you ever get a chance to sleep? It's I'm looking forward to, and I'm going to try and force myself to not, as evil as it sounds, I'm going to force myself to not help you as much as possible. There's going to be, if you don't specifically tell me you're doing a specific thing to try and specifically make yourself safe, like, you're going to have people on watch. You know, there's all kind of things you've got to factor in a completely open, unexplored world that you are going to fucking struggle to get a rest, and you're going to have to start planning your spell slots. You can't just be like, oh yeah, you get healed, you get a fireball, or you get this, that, and the other, and you blow all your spell slots, and then you realise you can't sleep for another 2 days, you've got no spells, you can't heal. You know, it's going to be good to see you guys having to actively think more about, fuck, are we going to bump into another fucking horrible bastard that we need spells for and healing, and what do we do? Do we sneak around? Do we fight? Do we retreat? I'm really looking forward to a complete flip angle, essentially. You guys are leaving the tutorial zone, you know, you've hit level 9, almost 10. You've had the safety of, let's just have fun, fuck about and explore our abilities. Now let's jump into the deep end, and you've left the starting zone, that bubble of protection's gone. Someone might just run up and stab you and take your money, and there's nothing you can do about it. I just want to have a rest and get me fucking spells back. Nah, boy. You didn't perceive that fucking bastard following you. You didn't perceive that tree that's alive. Who knows?
Yay.
Scalded spiders just emerge from the nest that we just happened to have set up in. And it's one of the things I was thinking of after we left the session. I was thinking, like,
He's gone again.
He was thinking of going to sleep.
Let's get this, that. I was grabbing whatever I could. And then afterwards, I was thinking, should we have bought a wagon and horse? Like, that would have been a good thing to have, like, to transport supplies. Or what if we bought more food? What if we did this? And it's all sort of like, it's logistics, man. It's all about the sort of like making sure we can sort of maintain ourselves and not just be like, fuck it, let's just go into the wilderness with like one
even
big
buy a tent.
I was thinking that. I was looking for my inventory. I thought, well, I got a bed.
Yeah.
I've got a
I gave you plenty of opportunity to buy everything you'd need. And granted, in the moment, you can't necessarily think of everything. Like, you have, you've all got your bedrolls and stuff. Say again?
We do need to head down to the docks to go to the ship. So,
yeah.
If you pass a shop, take your opportunity. Pop in.
Yeah, I mean, as much as it's not been spoken about, and I've left elements of... I've not like fully mapped the world. I've not fully mapped and marked every building in Calvados intentionally so it's not just, oh, that's a cool place, let's go there. That's a cool place, let's interact with that. There's a lot of elements of I've intentionally not marked things so when ideas come to you guys rather than me inspiring them, then we can be like, yeah, there's that. So I mean, like, it's no huge spoiler. Of course there's a stables in Calvados. Of course, the docks can provide like all kinds of shit. There's all kinds of fucking shit. Another point was the fact that the dockmaster sent a message for Jerome to be like, just let Jerome know, is it the same deal, the same setup as last time? And like no one asked what that deal or what that setup was. I was like, right,
I think
fair enough.
It was only Azul who was there.
Oh, was it?
Azul
Right, yeah.
Was there, he went and arranged everything with it, and
Yeah. The first time Brant heard of this adventure was when the guy just walked in and said, "Hi, do you want to sign up to it?" It's like, fucking what?
Yeah, no, that is fair and true.
I mean, yeah, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it.
What's the worst that could happen?
So, all right, then everyone else is going, might as well go as well. I mean, they must be like, I'm assuming they're going to be taking like general supplies, tents and all that. They won't just sort of be like, oh yeah, the last deal, we're just taking a boat and just going over there like with nothing at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, again, it's not a huge spoiler to say you probably don't have to worry too much. You're not going understocked, undersupplied. It's not just like average Joe's turned up and, oh, let's go to the unexplored area of the world, lol, galleon, let's dip. Bring me a couple of mates. Like, ultimately, it has been arranged by two of the guild masters, so, you know.
Yeah. You're probably going to have enough supplies on the boat to get you there, rations-wise, but once you're there, you're on your own.
I mean, you've all bought, like, supplies and rations. Another thing, because, like, we don't really do encumbrance and stuff like that, I'm not going to be constantly saying every time you get them, have you eaten today? Are you drinking? You know, there might be times where it's specifically important where you might not have had chance to. But, like, yeah, there's always a background running assumption that you're keeping yourself fed and watered, you know. I know we kind of say there's, oh, Dreamy Luna with a hydrate. Oh, no, I've not filled my jug. We'll just have to have some. I'm not sponsored by this drink.
Whereas Vol doesn't give a shit. Show everyone what you're thinking.
What's the worst that could happen?
DM isn't a kindergarten teacher. That's it. Yeah, it's... I don't need to double check to assume that as adventuring adults, you can look after yourself. You stipulated you bought enough rations and stuff to cover it. I just charged you a couple of gold. So ultimately, you're going to have enough food to last, you know. And as I say, unless it becomes apparent where, I don't know, for example, you might get trapped somewhere and lose your bag, then things might start getting a little bit, okay, you've got an exhaustion point now because you've not been able to eat for a day or two, you know. But that's as you know. Otherwise, unless it's a specific thing that's happening, the general assumption is that you're keeping yourself fed and watered.
Be a laugh if we didn't. No, it wouldn't be a laugh. Fucking
complete party wide because we did pack enough rations and starve out in the middle of nowhere. We can't find our way back.
You fought untold fucking nightmares, but my man starved to death. You've just been drinking out of puddles. I've been putting ice in my drinks. I've been eating the salads. I've got deli belly. Have you ever emptied an old radiator? What's all this dirty water coming out of me?
The whole world fell out of my arsehole.
And with the gentlest of pushes, the world fell out my arse. I thought I was going to empty. The family hung up on the back of the door. It was going to be a costume of a man. But yeah, I mean, illness could be a thing. Who knows? Like,
no, let's not go that far, mate.
I just want to play. I just want to roll dice and punch bad guys. I don't want my character getting fucking trench foot and dysentery. Come on.
What's cholera? Yeah.
When was the last time you washed your socks? I mean, yeah, you've got trench foot.
I don't wear socks.
Give me a constitution saving throw because you can't walk in anymore because your feet have started to melt.
Oh, is that a natural one? Oh, you've lost your foot.
Yeah.
Spell slot, so I guess I'm going to take that leg.
Yeah, I mean, there's dangers in the world, and it's not just things trying to fight you. The world is a nasty place. Let's go to once. Let's try to go to the fucking far reaches and avoid avalanches and frostbite. Let's go to Kerachek. Let's go to the far reaches where there's no civilization for hundreds of miles, and we're in a desert.
Yeah, just try not to die of thirst.
I've got my water canteen. When did you last fill it? 5 days ago. Constitution saving throw. Good
Mate,
shit.
Fucking Martin's going to be an horrible place. I can tell.
Never know. Not been
Either
there.
it's going to be incredible or it's going to suck.
It's definitely going to suck, mate. It's definitely going to suck. I don't think there's any two ways about it. It's definitely going to suck.
But
That's adventuring. That's adventuring. You've got to find these things out, and you've got to wonder why, within the realms of history, and the Beauty and the Beast style library full of tomes, full of information that's been gathered over millions of years or thousands of years, why there's nothing written on the gaff you guys are fucking sailing to on Friday. It's got to be a reason no one's written about it, right?
We are a good bunch. I mean, we'll be fine. I'm sure we'll be fine. I mean,
It's all right.
Like, realistically talking, all right. That, like, as much as you can upplay it or downplay it, there has to be a reason why 4 out of 5 of us have already re-rolled new characters.
I mean, that's just your own fucking preemptive fear kicking in. The panic of what if I fucking nat one scoop myself and
what if I fall off a boat? I don't know how to swim. I can't swim.
Yeah. What if I don't even get there? That's the point. Yeah, you don't have to worry about Martin if you don't even get there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What if we all roll nat ones on the days of travel and the boat just disintegrates into fuck all and we all end up at the bottom of the sea?
We get an iceberg.
yeah, boat
You're
goes
wearing
over.
heavy armor. You sink
Over.
like a rock.
I got full plate armor on. I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah,
after I
you
bought it,
will
I
have.
realised like this is really inappropriate to go sailing in.
You might as well just tie an anchor to yourself and just fucking
Yeah, it's one of them. You don't have to spend all day every day in your fucking armor and stuff, you know.
Whereas I just picture it, Xavier will be the last one to actually get to Martin and be arriving just like Jack Sparrow on top of the mast. And the rest of us
Steps onto land as the fucking mast sinks under. Fucking brilliant. Everyone else is just behind kicking a little fucking floaty piece of wood that's just got a little bit of mast left on it. We made it, guys.
how the fuck are we getting back?
That's it. I mean, even if the boat does get destroyed, you've got people that can cast sending. You can fucking like call for help.
Yeah, all right. Fucking magic barriers.
Barriers,
Dog
hell.
shit. Yeah.
What are you doing on the island?
I need
said we
to.
were going.
That reminds me. Actually, I'm not gonna say specific. I wish I hadn't fucking even mentioned it now. I need to look at certain spells or abilities that certain people may or may not have, which could make things a hell of a lot easier. But
I can tell you now, yes, he does have water breathing, and yes, he does have water walking.
that's not what I was on about. But anyway, yeah, there's
I think I know
He
what you're on
does.
about, because that's something that I had on the last campaign that would make things a lot fucking easier. But I don't think any of these guys do.
we might be
You know what I'm on
thinking
about?
we might be thinking of the same thing, but I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
The longer this conversation goes on, the
I
more
know.
I
I'll
think,
fuck it. Go on. What do you think it is, Biggie?
Great transport circle.
Oh no, that's not what I was thinking of. But I mean, even still, that's a good spell. And so I was reading more about it as well, that like the logistics of it, like just to go off on a little bit of tangent, just to take away from what I was thinking of before. One of the cool elements about that spell is if you cast it on the same place every day for a year, it becomes permanent.
Yeah. I was reading that when I was looking at her.
Yeah.
I mean, there is one which I thought that I think the cleric can have that could be really useful, but I don't think you have. And that's create food and water.
I mean, the beauty.
Got it.
Oh yeah,
Got it. Happy
See,
days.
the beauty of
I
it.
think I'm sure I do.
Yeah, but
I was planning on feeding, and like it was one of those ones I was looking at thinking like this is going to be very helpful.
Yeah, irrespective, like when it comes to the beauty of a cleric is that you're only a day away from having what you need at the end of the day. Like you wake up as a cleric and you prepare 9 spells out of, or you prepare X amount of spells out of all of the spells that you know, and clerics know all of their spells.
Yeah,
it's not something that they learn. It's power gifted by their deity. So at the end of the day, if you were like, fucking hell, we've run out of rations, you'd only have to get to the next day so that Brant could prepare it in the morning, and then boom, you know.
How much does it produce?
You create 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water on the ground or in containers within range. I should have gone and bought some baskets and urns for that, but I'm sure
there'll be barrels on the ship.
Because sustain up to 15 humanoids or 5 steeds for 24 hours. The food is bland but nourishing, and spoils if only eaten on 24 hours. The water is clean and doesn't go bad. So
food is bland and nourishing.
Yeah, you can feed
50. But
cast it in the morning. It lasts 24 hours, and you can feed 15 people. Yeah.
And if it gets so bad, I've also got purified food and drink, which means if we do get something we don't want to eat, I can at least make it edible. But yeah, I was looking at my spell list afterwards. I'm thinking like, there's too many spells to sort of like.
Yeah, you can't. That's why I said to you, you want to have your bread and butter spells, and then keep a couple of slots.
It's like I'm gonna have to start really thinking about what I take, and like you said, if I run out of spell slots, then it's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna have to stuff some wax in my ears, and you guys are just gonna have to let me get fucking 8 hours sleep, and then I can come back to helping you. But it's I'm looking forward to it, like the logistics of having to like think about what I'm taking, and yeah,
great, innit? Listening to all the really useful and important shit that people have got that's going to help everyone on their way. The best thing that I can do is turn someone into a spectre.
Which you've not done yet.
I haven't.
You haven't had much opportunity, to be fair, but
no. I mean, I could have. I don't think I could have turned a blob into a spectre.
Blob was blob. What's it? There's a stipulation on it, isn't there?
Yeah, humanoid.
Yeah. So
yeah, blob is.
And I have to slay it. So yeah, I mean,
yeah. There's also that. Yeah. There is that.
Yeah, bit of an arse, but hey ho.
But I think that's the double-edged sword of being a sorcerer or magic user, is that not every single spell is going to be, I can use this whenever I want, or this is going to be this is going to be like completely powerful. Some stuff, like I'm looking at the list, some of this stuff I won't even ever use because it's just like, when will I ever get the context to use? But And that's what I'm excited about this journey for, because it's going to give us an element of like,
Yeah.
Tongues. Why on earth would I want to speak to someone who speaks common? Well, we might find a tribe on the island that doesn't speak anything we know, so that will help us communicate with them and it'll avoid us fighting. But in Calvados, everyone speaks common. There's no need for it.
Yeah.
I've not got a lot of like other people utility. I've got a lot of utility for myself. Like I can get myself out of shitty situations. I can hurt people real fucking good, but I can't do much for anyone else. I mean, I've got a leveling cleric with Dave, which just gives me like cure wounds and a couple of extra little spicy things, but like it's nothing major, nothing dramatic.
Raoul's spect more protector utility. Being a little Eldritch Knight.
So what is he? He's a fighter, just a straight fighter, 4th level fighter.
He's a fifth level fighter, Eldritch Knight. So he's got some magic flavour. So obviously after last week's tattoo and pulling the card, he's maxed his intelligence now, so his magical ability is the best it can. My original concept for Raoul of making him an Eldritch Knight was that I wanted to give him counterspell as a protective measure, so that like if someone cast a spell at L'Oreal, like his whole vibe is to protect his charge. So like someone casts a spell, counterspell, but because he's an Eldritch Knight and everything's delayed magically, he wouldn't get counterspell until level 13. So meh. But he's got Featherfall, so big fall, you Gucci. He's got Expeditious Retreat, so like even though she's an archer and she's at range and he's a fighter, if he's up in the thick of things and something goes to L'Oreal, boom, bonus action, dash. He can get over to a quick smart. He's got shield to protect himself. What else has he got? He's a magic initiate warlock, so he's got Eldritch Blast. So the worst case, he could just stand by L'Oreal and just Eldritch Blast things and protect her whilst shooting at range. So he's spec to be he's a magical protector, basically. So, but he's obviously a lot of levels behind. So that's just the way it is.
Thing with warlocks as well, like when you level up, you can change spells, and I actually took off counterspell.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think like counterspell is nice just as a general thing, but going back to like characters and what your characters do, Dave doesn't care much for anybody else. He's very much I do shit for myself, and counterspell would help him, but not as much as the fucking juice box that he's got now would help him.
Yeah.
Because when he got to 8, he got access to 5th level shit as well. So now he's got some real fucking... No, that's a lie. 4th level stuff. But he's got some real fucking Gucci shit. But again, it's all for him and not for anyone
other
else.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you do, ultimately, especially in Dave's situation. As an adventurer, you're going to learn things and you're going to unlock things that are going to help you at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's like up until, like, in Calvados time, like up until a couple of days ago, he was just himself wandering around with very little aim to his life. Just got out of prison, didn't know anyone. Anyone that he was involved with is obviously no longer in Calvados. But yeah, he just kind of it's like you got to look after yourself before you're looking after number one.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe some shit will change, but I'm not holding out a lot of hope.
Who knows, mate? Who knows? Right, Chattercles. Any other pressing questions that you might think of? I'm trying to think of other things we can discuss. I think it's going to be very interesting next Q&A, which I'm not sure. Actually, are we going to get one in April? Yeah, the last Monday, because LARP would be the end. Yeah. So that's something that I might as well mention now. There is going to be a change in scheduling. Not that I'm expecting everyone to write things down, but just as a point of note for the sake of referencing it on the stream. Friday, April 28th, May 26th, August 4th, and August 25th. There will be no session because Pigeon V are going to be, and Biggie as well sometimes. Are you
Probably not this year.
Fair enough.
Okay.
But at least V and Pidge are going to be at LARP, which also means no Q&A in May or August. But we'll have a couple of sessions through April, end of March into April, and then the last Monday in April will be a Q&A. So we'll get a Q&A over the experiences over the next few weeks from Martin.
We could do the May before you're not here. Could do it the week before you're away.
We could, but then there's only got to be like 2 sessions between the Q&A. You know, I'd rather have like more to talk about after missing one rather than make one earlier and, you know, do it that way, I think. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that. We've done just under an hour. Unless there's anything else you guys can think of that you want to ask me as DM, that you want to mention.
Not really. I think we've.
Oh, hang on. Before we finish, speaking of other things, the deck of many things. That's something that's been new that we've not really spoke about. How do you guys feel about the deck so far? What are your thoughts, opinions, hopes, dreams?
Too much good shit has happened. There's not a lot of bad shit that's happened. I mean, we've had Don John, which is obviously probably the worst thing, or one of the worst things.
Don gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, having had experience of it twice now in 2 campaigns, it's because I remember last time a lot of bad stuff happened.
Yeah,
but it seemed to happen all at once.
Yeah. From 2 sides of a coin. That's why I've done it entirely different this time. Before, it was like, here's the deck. How many cards do you want to draw? And like, I think Jay at one point, he did like 8 or something.
Yeah, because he kept pulling the... There was
like draw again and draw two. Yeah. And so this time I was like, pick a number, and that's the card. That's how the card that you draw. So it's only 1 at a time, and it's also not like a nightly thing, because from an outer character perspective, it's one of my absolute favourite D&D mechanics. I love the deck of many things and the things that it can do to a campaign. When I got the deck for Christmas, like a few years ago, I was like, right, the boys are only like level fucking 8, but I'm bringing it in. I don't give a shit. Ultimately, it should probably be a slightly higher level item, but with moderation, I think it's worked better this time, especially now that cards aren't going back into the deck as well. So it's a rarer pull, and cards are only, at least currently, unless that something happens or things change, you know, who knows. But currently, at least, cards aren't going back in.
Well, only certain cards I've noticed.
Yeah, so some of them have gone back in, but the one we did last Friday were cards burning up.
Yeah, so the first time that was like the deck's fresh, boom, initial draws, everything went back in. But you noticed last time when you drew a card, it burnt up. So the first time it was a full deck, second time it was technically a full deck, but then things started burning up. That way,
probably to do with what we pulled as well, as opposed to
an element of, and from an outer character perspective, like honestly, it means that you can get some cool shit, you can get some bad shit, but it's not constant and repetitive. Like as Biggie said last time, like I think they all drew the 50k in jewelry at least once. So it's like,
yeah, I think there was only actually
one of you that didn't make. Yeah, so like everyone was loaded. Tim had loads of wishes. There was a lot of shit got pulled. So I've definitely hard limited it this time. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Lovely. Right. Yeah, sweet. Enjoyed the chat, boys. Bit of an eye-opener. I'm looking forward to comparative this time to next time, what your faces will be like. Whether you'll all be fucking haggard and shaking from the...
I don't want to do it.
Or maybe it'll be an absolute breeze. Who fucking knows what's going to happen?
Nope.
You do.
Everyone will be in the half.
Well, I mean, I do, yeah. But but yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for your questions. We'll keep it short but sweet. Cheeky little hours chat. If I hit the D&D command, this will be uploaded to the YouTubes as well for anyone that missed it or anyone that wants to reflect on anything. Maybe might think of some additional questions for next time or whatever. But yeah, sweet. Well, I'll say it now, just at the end. Anyone in chat, don't go anywhere because I'm probably going to come back and stream some DBD in a bit. But yeah, sweet. Thanks everyone for watching. This has been another Terrafae Q&A. Until Friday, when the fun shall really begin.
Fun
Can't
begin.
Well, yeah, much love everyone. And we will see you soon. Take it easy.
Ta-da, ducks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.